We are backstage at Boots with Kalsey Kulyk, who you know from her song Love Me Like an Outlaw. I love that song.
Thank you.
As heard on Country 90.5. And that's because it's got some of that classic flair to it, which is your style, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I wrote that song back in 2018 down in Nashville, Tennessee with some really good super country writers, and it just turned out pretty much exactly how I pictured it would. So.
Sounds like a Lainey Wilson track.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I read that you first graced the stage at age 3.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so explain that, 3-year-old to be on stage.
Yeah, well, I mean, I started singing at a really young age, like 2, and my mom was putting on a talent show in our hometown, and she was, getting talent, and then my grandpa said to her, why don't you throw Kalsey on stage for a song? And she's like, no, she's too young. And grandpa's like, just one song, and so she did, and I caught the bug and was on stage ever since after that.
Do you actually remember being on stage that first time? You do?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Wow. I had like the whole Canadian tuxedo going on, a cowboy hat. I sang What Part I Know by Lori Morgan, and yeah, absolutely loved it.
Starting out on that stage, you found yourself on the Canada's Got Talent stage at one point. So, I mean, you would have been recognized from the amount of people that watched that show. What was the weirdest place you were ever recognized?
The weirdest place?
Yeah, or most random place?
Probably at an H&M outside of Edmonton. I was just shopping and somebody came up to me and they're like, Kalsey? And I was like, yes. They're like, oh, I'm a big fan. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, thank you. It was just like, I was not even in that mode. Right? I think I was wearing grubby sweats, but they totally recognized me. I was like, oh man. All right. But it was really cool.
You're here with your husband, Eric Etheridge, who's also a country performer, and he's played at Boots before.
Yeah.
Now, this is your first time outside of the Emerging Artist Showcase. What tips has he given you leading up to your performance?
Just to kick some butt, have fun, and really enjoy the moment because it goes by so fast.
I imagine it does. Is he or are you each other's sort of musical filters in the sense that he writes something, you write something, and you go, yeah, I don't know about that one, but that one I really like?
Yes, absolutely. And we also push each other to be better, and we keep each other motivated. So it's really nice to have somebody who's in the music industry kind of bounce ideas off of.
During COVID, you toured or you lived in a van.
Yes, we did.
What were some of the logistical issues of living in a van that you didn't realize until you were living in a van?
Not being able to shower whenever you want, having to go to gas stations to do that. That was probably like
during COVID, you wouldn't have as many options because so many things were closed. And bathrooms are closed.
Yes, we showered at a couple truck stops, which, I mean, hey, it was actually pretty clean, but I didn't love it, to be honest. And yeah, that was probably that was the hardest to get used to, for sure. Yeah.
Right. You said, my friends say I make people cry. I don't want to make anyone cry. I just want to make them feel something. What's something silly that makes you cry?
Something silly that makes me cry. Something silly. I don't know. I don't think I really have any. I mean, if I'm laughing too hard, maybe, then that'll make me cry. Our son, he does goofy things all the time that makes me laugh until I cry. So probably anything that he does.
All the airline videos at Christmas time, like the commercials.
Yeah.
When they're sending people home, I bawl my eyes out when I watch that.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, on a serious note, you're a cancer survivor.
Yes.
And, this is something that our family is going through right now with my wife.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But anyone I've talked to that's been through it says it changes you in some ways for the better. Mm-hmm. How did it change you? And I know it was a young age when you went through it, but... Yeah,
I mean, I think it changed me in, I don't stress out about things as much as I should probably, because, life is short and we are not promised tomorrow. So I'm pretty happy-go-lucky and positive because of that. And I am very grateful for that.
You learned perspective at a very young age.
Absolutely. Yeah.
How many cowboy hats do you own?
Too many. I just literally bought 5 in the last year.
Really?
And then I've had cowboy hats ever since I was 3 years old. So.
Okay, because going through your Instagram, every picture is pretty much cowboy hat, right?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, some of them I use, I reuse the cowboy hats, sure. But I do have way too many. I have a stack even at my mom's house. My mom's like, do you want these? And I'm like, I don't have any room. You can just keep them there. I've got too many hats.
Right, okay. What's next for Kalsey Kulyk?
Well, I've got a few more shows this summer, and then I'm going to be playing at the Canadian Country Music Legend Showcase in Edmonton this year, so I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be going down to Nashville, not this week, but next week, to record some new songs to release, which I'm really excited about, and there's some more that I can't really talk about. So lots of exciting things on the way.
And of course, the Boots and Hearts Front Porch stage a little later on this afternoon.
Yep.
Before we let you go, we started doing something last year here at Boots, and the artist we talked to last year did very well.
Okay.
So it's called our First Song Challenge.
Oh.
What's the very first song you ever wrote, and can you sing a line from it?
Yes. Okay. So it was when I was 5, actually, and I wrote a song for my mom. And it goes, "Hey mama, there's a new sunrise today." That's the first line.
That's good.
Yeah.
5 years old, I'm singing songs about going potty.
Oh my gosh.
Kalsey, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank
and
you so much,
enjoy the show today, and we can't wait to hear more of you on the radio.
Thank you.
Kalsey Kulyk at Boots and Hearts.